Good morning, Evergreen Lutheran High School. This is Pastor Bitter at Grace Church in Portland, Oregon. Glad to share your chapel with you this morning. And for your chapel, I really wanted to introduce you guys to some of my neighbors. Now, I wanted to introduce you to them because honestly, I have the greatest neighbors ever. Really, I do. They are fantastic. They are quiet. They are respectful. They never throw loud parties. In fact, I've lived in Portland for 16 years and I cannot think of one loud party that my neighbors have ever had. They're really good neighbors. My neighbors, in fact, you could say are more committed to shelter in place than probably anybody else in Portland. I mean, they're really committed to it. In fact, they were committed to being sheltered in place long before the virus ever became a problem or a thing. Yeah, I have some really good neighbors. Now granted, my neighbors, they like to keep to themselves and they're not real helpful. And I'm okay with that. Yeah, I really am. But that doesn't mean they're not good neighbors still. You see, my neighbors live just up the hill from me, and they have actually a pretty big community. In fact, my neighbors that live just up the hill from me, the next neighborhood, is 220,000 residents in it. That's a lot of people. But even the 220,000 residents, I've never seen any of them out and about, which is really amazing. And again, I'm okay with that. Because you see, my neighbors belong to Willamette National Cemetery and Lincoln Park Memorial Cemetery. Those are my neighbors. And I know that one day I'm going to become a resident of this neighborhood as well. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with becoming a resident of this neighborhood because I know that even with death, there is nothing to be afraid of. And that is what Easter reminds us of and encourages us of and comforts us of every single day. Not just once a year, but every day Easter gives us that glorious comfort. You see, because of Easter, all this death, it's been defeated. Because of Easter, Jesus took what was an awful problem for us, death, and he turned it into the most awesome event. Easter solves our greatest problem. It solves our greatest issue. Easter is God's enormous answer to the thing that we're most afraid of. Easter assures us that death has been defeated. In fact, we say that Easter is the death of death. And because of Easter, we know that one day death cannot hold us in these graves either. One day, this quiet, serene place will be the most active and the most exciting place on earth. And that's why I'm glad I live next to a cemetery. Because can you imagine what this will look like when the Lord Jesus returns? And he calls all of these people out of their graves. And if I'm not a resident of this neighborhood yet, that is going to be something awesome to see. And we know that death now takes us to heaven, where we will experience real life. And that's the Bible passage I want to share with you this morning. It's a Bible passage from John, and where John gives us his vision of the revelation that he sees of heaven. And John says, look, God's dwelling is with people, and he will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be their God, and he will wipe every tear from their eye, and there will be no more mourning or crying or pain or death, because the old order of things will have passed away. This is God's Easter promise to you. God bless you all, and have a great day.